or Echo Fin? I'm sorry.
It's on EchoFin. I'm not posting any signals on the Telegram chat group.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You can see that on the 15-minute chart that it's pushing up quite a bit here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the one I'm losing on.
What? One you're losing on?
I did a sell a few hours ago on that.
No, bad idea. If you did, you don't ever want to try and get in on the last couple hours of any session.
Okay, so should I do another sell? I'm actually in AU as a sell, but I'm negative. Just asking.
If you have enough to cover, I mean, it's going to be a major spike, and then we're going to see another spike for the interest rate decision too. So,
But you posted sell, correct?
that's what I posted. Yes.
Yeah, because I got in at the last signal you gave for that. Let's see.
So, Ku, when do you actually get in on this trade then? I'm just trying to learn how to get in on it. Like, what time do you place your trade?
On the last 10 seconds.
10 seconds of what time? How do I know the time? Sorry, it's my first time trading this stuff.
So since we have 4 minutes left on my FX book, when it counts down at the very last minute, you'll see the countdown, 59 seconds. I don't use stop loss for any red news, so I'm willing to take the hit. Now, I suggest if you're really new to this, you should set a buy stop and a sell stop before it starts coming down, because you gotta set the pending orders on it. So now, if you don't want to do that, then you can just set the sell position and then set your stop loss.
On TradingView.
What is your take profit usually on this?
I don't have a take profit. Basically, you just want to get in and get out in like less than 5 seconds.
So what's a good amount to get out though?
I suggest anyone to get out as soon as the spike is done. Like, you don't want to wait for this. Like, you're gonna see, since there's so much red news, you're gonna see. I'm gonna try and record as much as I can for these red news on Tokyo sessions when there's red news. I can't do it for New York, except for now for on payroll, because I don't have class on Fridays. So you'll see a spike for this. You'll see the spike for the interest rate decision in 3 hours from the Reserve Bank of Australia. Tomorrow you're gonna see. Well, I'll talk about tomorrow after this Australia gets released.
So rule of thumb is you get in 10 seconds before the countdown.
That's like you really have to know what's going on. You don't just, I get in at the 10-second mark because I'm already, I have a gut feeling. That's my prediction. I'm not changing it. I already see where it's going. This is what's going to happen when it gets released. It's going to go the opposite way. That's the way I see it. Now, for someone that's new, I don't expect anyone to get in at the last 10 seconds with no stop loss because there will be times that you will take massive hits. So,
Mr. Lee, so, okay, in you have TP at 72150. Does that still stand?
do I have what?
Okay, New Zealand USD at sell, you gave 0.72150 as a TP earlier today. Is that valid or should I disregard?
Let me check New Zealand.
Oh, see, I'm on the wrong one. You're on Australia. I got them mixed up.
That's because we got news in 2 minutes here.
Okay, I'm sorry. Look, I was thinking. You don't have to answer that question. I trust your signals. I'm the one that got it mixed up.
Yeah, there is no news for New Zealand this week. All right, we got 1 minute. Because I'm going to show you. If you look at Euro AUD spiking down, GBP AUD spiking down, Australia is spiking up. You can see where the anticipation is going. We are running into 44 seconds left, 43 seconds left. So if you want to do like me and get in on the last 10 seconds, you can. But if you don't use this, if you're not willing to take a stop loss, that's on you. I don't recommend anyone to do what I do, but if you want to do it, you can go ahead and do it.
Sorry, didn't mean to confuse anyone. I got New Zealand and Australian mixed up.
There you go.
Ooh, 5 seconds, 5 seconds.
Ooh.
That's it.
Do we take profit?
That's weak. Crap.
Yeah, I was a little bit excited there.
Dude, I was getting too excited, but that was not the spike I was anticipating.
I think the interest rate decision is going to be a bigger spike.
Oh yeah, I know. That one's gonna whipsaw people quick. I already told you there's gonna be at least 2-3 spikes for that one.
Hey, I made $1.40 off of that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, I made
Now.
166.
Monday.
Flip it hard, Ricardo. We flip it.
That's right. See, if you look at GBP Australia and Euro Australia, they're spiking back up. Okay.
So
The retail sales was bad for Australia. That's why it fell back. Anything that goes against Australian dollar, like GBP AUD, Euro AUD, is spiking back up. So that tells me that AUD NZD is falling back as well with AUD JPY. So those are your other pairs that you want to trade if there's something major like high red news impact. And the reason why I said you want to take profit right away in less than like 3-4 seconds is because you can see that the spike went down, but then now it's retracing back up.
Yes, I see that.
I don't recommend anyone swinging their position on a spike. You can choose so if you want to, but I don't recommend it.
So is it like always the opposite on the spike? Like if it's going up and then there's like news where they go opposite way most of the time?
90% of the time, yes. There's always that 10% chance where professionals like FX Street is right, or if investing.com think it's a buy and it ends up being a buy, I mean, they're correct 10% of the time, gives you a 90% chance of winning. You can't go wrong going the opposite way. I mean, there are times where you'll face 2-3 spikes and then you end up getting whipsaw and you end up getting closed out by the broker because it's a massive spike going down and it's a massive spike going right back up, and it's just like less than half a second of how fast that candle goes up and down, and you'll see a long wick, and so it's really crazy. Now, if we were to look at the 1 minute chart, I like to look at the 1 minute chart, but if we look at the 1 minute chart right now, I mean, it's really not a whole lot to go off of. I mean, I was expecting a longer candle going down, but wasn't really much impact. So more is heavily focused on the interest rate and their interest rate decision when it gets released. So
Is the interest rate decision? Is that tonight as well?
yeah, the interest rate decision is in 3 hours.
Oh, sweet.
First time trading the web, not web, but the software on my computer. This is kind of compared to the phone.
So if you didn't choose to get out, you probably wouldn't be making any money right now because you can see how much it retraced right back up on that spike.
Yes, and look, we're on the same. I have an extra bar on mine.
Where? What?
Hold on, let's see if I can focus it in.
What broker are you using?
Trader's Way.
On what chart? I mean, what time frame?
I'm on the 5 minute.
I'm
You're
on 15 minute.
Oh, duh. Slap me. Slap me.
Do you like stack your news sales or no?
I don't ever stack on the news. Even the book, if you get the book and you read the book, and I even say that, I even highlight it and says, I don't ever stack any positions when I trade news.
Oh yeah, I haven't got there yet then.
Yeah, you don't ever stack positions when you're scalping or trading high red news. You do that, you're gonna face. You should only stack when you're following the trend for a very, very long time. That's the only reason why I would stack positions, because I'm riding out the trend for the next couple of days or for the next 8 to 12 hours. I've been stacking positions. There's no other reason why you would stack positions when you're scalping. When you're scalping, you should use a higher lot size because that way you can cover the spreads and the commissions when you pay it out. That way you get profit. You don't want to do a 0.01 when you're scalping because you're not going to make anything on a 0.01. So
No, you need to do a 1.0.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I know at least a 0.30, 0.4.
Right.
You know,
I'm being funny.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 mini lots or something.
All right, Mr. Lee, I have a question. So we're looking at Australia USD. Both candles closed out above. So pretty much this is going to be a downward trend, correct? Bearish?
Oh, we won't see the bearish. We won't see the downtrend after the interest rate decision.
See, that's where I guess I get confused because I've learned only mostly technical and not news.
Okay, because
But we're good.
because you can see that the retail sales was worse than expected on the MyFX book, and the current account balance was negative as well, worse than expected. So they're both bad.
Right.
But since everything is focused on the rate statement and the interest rate decision tonight, then it's trying to retrace back up because they want to jack it up before the rates get released. They're going to spike it up. They're going to spike it up for the interest rate decision. And I'm expecting to spike down for the rate statement. So I'm expecting 2 spikes. I'm not going to get in right away on this one. I'm going to get in as soon as they get done spiking it up.
Which they're doing right now.
So you can see right now that you can see how this is a long wick and the candle is still trying to push back up. So if you didn't get out, you're probably losing money right now if you didn't get out on that.
No, I made profit. Thank you.
So wasn't enough of a spike going down for the retail sales, even though it was worse than expected. And a lot of people get confused because they're like, well, the news that they're like, well, I get a lot of people asking like, man, the news just got released, everything was bad. Why is it still going back up? Well, obviously, if you look at the economic calendar, if you actually trade high red news or any news on the economic calendar, if there's still more news for Australia, then there's a reason why they're jacking it back up. There's no reason why they're just gonna jack it up for just to fake people out. There's a reason why they're jacking it up. We're not jacking it up. The bank's just jacking it up. So once you see everything comes together, especially for trading high impact news on a particular currency pair, you know where they want to push it, and you'll have a good confirmation of where the opposite direction is going to go. So just like the US, there's morning news and then there's afternoon announcements. You got to be prepared for afternoon announcements. So I don't care what happens in the morning. Afternoon can send you can send you all the way back down for unexpected news release. Like last Thursday, it didn't on last Thursday on the economic calendar. They didn't specify that Trump was speaking. But I knew Trump was going to be speaking that week and that day. I just forgot what time he was speaking. So the dollar fell right back. You have to pay attention to, those afternoon announcements from the White House, from Trump, and the Fed. You never know, because there's always going to be unexpected events. Even Currency Trading for Dummies talks about unexpected events on the fundamental side. That's a good book to go off of as well. So
Currency for Dummies.
yeah, I mean, if you read my chapter on economics and fundamentals, you should pick up on, the unexpected major events that will happen. And so,
Okay.
Ku, are you going to be doing a Zoom for the next one?
I'm actually going to run this Zoom all the way till 9:30.
Okay.
So you guys are going to have another 3 hours, pretty much 3 hours with me.
Woohoo!
And then I hope that you guys are watching these webinars and keeping it on your hard drive. So, because everyone has already agreed that I should record it every time I do this. So,
Yep.
It's not in my budget.
so I hope your hard drive is enough to store a lot of videos if you're doing the yearly subscription with me, because that's a lot of hard drive space. It's a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of hard drive space. I have 4 hard drives on my desktop, so.
I think you can get a terabyte for like $40 now, external.
Yeah, externals are getting cheaper now. Everyone's trying
Yes.
to move to the SSD now.
Cool. Was it that you were gonna discuss your weekly outlook on the dollar
Hang on.
for people who's gonna swing?
Hang on.
Can you kind of touch bases on that? I don't know if that's what everybody's curious about.
Yep.
He said, "Yep." How you doing, Sang?
How are you, Ken?
Hey, I feel so much better. Still a little
Yeah.
pain, but we're good.
You had pancreatitis?
Me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Me? Talking about me? What do you want me to explain about?
I think you had a discussion with another member about your weekly outlook for the dollar, U.S. dollar, for people who wants to swing for the whole week.
Okay. We explain. Okay, I'm sorry. I had too many messages. Just go ahead.
I guess my question is, how do you know that dollar for the week is going to go long or short? What is that? Are you based on the bond rate, 2 month, 3 months, or 10-year bond rate? Or are you predicting it from a yield, or what are you predicting it from?
I don't ever go off the bond rate or the yields.
Okay.
No matter what the yields in the bonds, it all comes down to the yields in the bonds really comes down to the investors, especially from the banks. And the dollar index is a really unique. Basically, the dollar is a really unique currency itself. And I mean, just because it's at 89 doesn't mean the dollar is worth 89 cents. And so, most importantly, what I'm looking at right now, here, I'll stop looking at Australia. I was looking for them to drop the dollar back to 89.5 last night, because it kept dropping on the 4-hour. I was looking for this price. Guess where it's bouncing off? It's bouncing off the middle band on 20 SMA.
So what's making the dollar drop or go up?
What's making the what?
What's the driving force for the dollar to go up or down during the day?
During the day, it really all comes down to the buyers and sellers.
I know, but is there we're not really comparing the dollar index to any other currency. Are you basing that on the euro because euro has such a huge impact on the US dollar?
Nope, I don't base it on the euro.
Okay,
If I was gonna base it on the euro, I might as well just look at gold.
I see.
Euro,
Because I'm just curious what's driving the dollar up and down daily. I'm trying to figure that out.
I don't try too much to figure out what drives the dollar. I mean, the most important thing is, like I said, we're in tax season, and very rarely do I ever see the dollar fall back during tax season because there's even my I'm taking my economics class right now. I was talking to my instructor and I was like, I said I asked her, I said, where do you think the US dollar is headed for this year? That's why I asked her. And she said that, if we were to look at the chart, the dollar is been downtrending, since Thanksgiving, since November. And I'm like, I agree with that. But she said that if you really look at it, the dollar's been on a downtrend since 103, which was last year. It hit 103 and it tumbled right all the way back down. And from 103 to 89, that's pretty huge for a drop. So if all I do is I backtrack 12 months ago, and then I look at 5 years ago, and then I look at, okay, let's look at the real history of the dollar. And if you really look at the real history of the dollar, it has its own unique pattern. And once you know this pattern for the dollar, you can't mess it up. Now, I always have, like I said, you should have at least 3 price targets, one at the highest, mid-range, and the lowest. And if you don't have that set up, at least have the Bollinger Band so you can have something to bounce off the Bollinger Bands, because the Bollinger Bands already have it all listed out for you. The upper band's listed at 91. The middle band's listed right here at 89.95, which is 90, and down here at 89. So when you look at a 1% increment, 1% decrease or 1% increase, that's huge for the dollar. And it just needs to gain. Like if you were to look at trading economics, the percentage change is only 0.04, but anything that gains more than 0.10%, like Australia and New Zealand is gaining above 0.10%, because they're expecting good news. And New Zealand's going to follow Australia until that interest rate decision hits. So I backtrack a lot of stuff. I backtrack what happened, the past quarter, all the way from a year ago, from today. And if we look at a year ago, I lost all my money. I lost all my money on March 3rd. So, if I were to backtrack that dollar was really high. It was at a 101, and it shot down and back to 99 after Fed Yellen's speech, after non-farm payroll. Non-farm payroll is positive, but when she spoke, the dollar shot 2%. That's huge. And USD dropped more than 100 pips. And so it's crazy. So when you backtrack the price 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 9 months ago, a year ago, and you look at every single quarter of the year, you're going to start seeing these price patterns. I haven't really specified too much about it in my book, but once I finally revise my book, you're gonna get a whole nother level of mindset into this. And so I'm constantly, like I said, this probably end up being like a 200-300 page book, pretty much. I'm trying to come up with some kind of price indicator software that I'm working on behind the scenes, but that's already too much on my end to work on. You want to look at how much they're trying to drive this price further down and up. And if you're going for the long haul, the long term swing, a weekly swing, a 2-week swing, or a monthly swing, or a 6-month swing, whatever, and you draw it out, like I have to make a video on this. I'll show you exactly how I draw it out last year. From summer to fall to winter and spring, and I have some stuff lined up for this whole year. Where I think the dollar's gonna go, where I think USD/JPY is gonna go, where I think the pound, Australia, New Zealand, all that is gonna go. Even gold.
Are you looking at?
If it doesn't go my way, at least I know that if it doesn't hit this target, then it's got to bounce off the price and come down. A lot of people use the Fibonacci, and if
What's that?
it doesn't hit the 61.8 or whatever, then it bounces back down to the next fib level. It's kind of like the same setup I have, but I just go for price to price and price and price.
You see, when you're looking at that stuff, Koo, is that in like the weekly or the monthly chart?
It's all on the monthly. It has nothing to do with the weekly.
Okay.
What I do is I project what is going to happen from January 2018 all the way till January of 2019.
Right.
What's going to happen in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter? Whatever happens, we're in the second quarter now, but whatever happens in the first quarter usually ends up doing the same thing for the second quarter. And if it doesn't, then you have to expect a huge reversal coming up. I want to keep buying the dollar, but the dollar hasn't really made the momentum to break 91. And 91 is my first initial resistance price. And it needs to drive that 91 price back to 93 and to 96. And so I'm looking at increments in price. You got to look at the next target to the next target to the next target. It doesn't hit this target. It doesn't hit the first target where it's going down or up, where you're following the uptrend or a downtrend. Then you have to expect that something's about to reverse in that currency pair. If that currency pair is going to reverse, guess what? Then something else has got to reverse. It's like a chain of reaction. If the dollar reverses right now back to 91, we already know what to expect. Everything's going to fall against the dollar. If the dollar reverses, if the dollar doesn't reverse and the dollar drops back to 88, then we know that where the dollar is headed for the next, pretty much for this quarter. So I'm constantly checking up, not just the U.S. dollar index, but where all the major pairs are going too. And it's just something that you have to constantly keep updating yourself. And I don't mind updating for everybody. I mean, you guys pay for my service, but eventually, once you don't use my service, you should start looking. You should start looking at least. I try to stay up to date at least 2 weeks ahead. But if you really want to be at top of your game, you should look at least 1 year ahead, at least a year ahead. You should already start projecting the future. And that's the level of mindset I want to get you guys at. Not just thinking what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen this week. No, if you can start thinking ahead and getting, staying ahead of the game, 3-6 months in the markets, I'm telling you right now, I'm constantly drawing trend lines and price targets for the next 3 to 6 months. If it doesn't hit this target, I'm constantly looking for reversals. And so this is a whole new way of looking into the forex market. I don't know if anyone talks about the way I talk into this industry, but you're gonna get the whole different level of mindset change as soon as I project the whole. Like what I'll do is I'll what I'll do is I'll make a quick video over the weekend. I'll show you what I outline, what I look at, and what to expect for the next 3 to 6 months, and what to expect for this year. If it doesn't happen this year, then something major's got to happen next year. And so the major shift has happened to the U.S. dollar already from last year till now, from 103 to 89. That's huge. So if they're going to keep sending it down, they're going to send it down. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it hits 80, breaks 80, and it's going back all the way, and there's going to be a huge collapse for the economy. So it's something that you have to be ready at all times. As soon as the dollar drops, people are going to be rich because they already had it all set in on the sell. And those that went long on the dollar lose a lot of money. This is like a way of getting rich overnight. But like being, like George Soros breaking the Bank of England that one day, and I'm like I said, once you hit that one day of overnight success, I'm telling you, you don't really need to trade, anymore. You can trade like 1 hour a day. That's huge. I'm talking about like a huge collapse, and so something collapses, something else, and something's got to go up against it. So if the sellers are going to sell the dollar, the buyers got to invest in something that's gonna sustain their income. And I don't know how much more like of explaining this, but it's just my way of interpreting the markets for long-term growth and long-term price projection and future. You got to make those future decisions right away so that way you can be mentally prepared for the markets all the time. And could you imagine if all I did was, nothing's going our way today, so we'll just wait till tomorrow and see if the market's going our way. That's not the way to do signals, and that's not the way to interpret the markets. You gotta be willing to adapt all the time. This is a non-stop game. This is a 24/5, market. And along with crypto, 24/7. You got to know what's going on. It basically like you gotta eat, sleep, and breathe this thing every day. That's why. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I live in this office more than in my bedroom, and so it's what it is. But once you, like I said, I don't know, it's all in your head pretty much. It's basically like if I can give you my brain, you can take it whole to another level. That's what I'm saying. I want you guys to take it to a whole new level. That's what it comes down to. So it's a lot. It's a lot to dig in, especially like a whole different level of focus.
I get it. I get what you're saying. Project the future from the past. You're looking at the long, over a yearly, right?
Well, I don't know if they have a year. I know the highest they have is just a monthly.
No, I'm just asking. You already said you project.
Yeah.
You go as far as you can.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, and I just have a lot to learn. I'm still way new to this.
Well, you better do a lifetime membership then.
Hey, when I make the money, I definitely will. Sang.
I don't expect anyone to do a lifetime membership with me. Yes, I'll have those people that do lifetime memberships, but I don't know, if you can't get it with me for 1 year,
Kick it to the curb.
I don't know,
Time to play lottery.
yeah, time to go to the casino or something.
Oh.
I don't know. I believe that 1 year should be an extensive amount of training, developing, taking my knowledge, experience. I mean, the way I do signals, the way I look at the charts, the way I analyze everything. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. And so, it all, like I said, it all comes down to how committed you are into this, really.
I was getting ready to say that it depends on each individual.
Yeah, I mean, I don't just stare at the charts just to look at candles going up and down. You gotta have a definite reason and purpose behind it, staring at the charts. And when I stare at the charts for 8 to 10 hours a day, I mean, the longest I stared at the charts for is almost 15 hours. And so I was constantly just looking. I was constantly looking why they were driving the price up so much for that day. Why are they driving the price down so much for the day? And you gotta look at news. You gotta look at the economic calendar. You gotta look at you gotta start following the price and the trend. And we know that when the candles create the price creates the trend. And it's nothing new. It's just that you have to, soak in a lot of information. And some people learn it fast and some people learn it slow.
I can learn pretty fast, but I just have limited time. It sucks. I'm trying to work out where I can spend more time up at night because I work pretty much 4 and 5 a.m. to 4 and 5 p.m. during the day. Then I have family time when I get home and limited time here. It's got to change.
Yeah, I mean,
that's just my personal.
I know it sounds crazy, but I basically sacrifice my sleep time, to get all I got last year.
You're young.
No, I'm gonna be 30 this year, man.
Oh, I'm getting ready to be 44. Oh. I'm just picking on you, Mr. Lee.
I know. I need to stop taking my anti-aging products.
Send them my way.
Dollar's going back down again. Watch, the dollar's going to retrace right back up at 9 o'clock again.
9, so that would be...
You remember late yesterday, 9 o'clock? Same time. I'm expecting the same thing.
I was in bed.
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock is right before 9 o'clock, the dollar spiked right back up to 90.
So eight your
I
time.
had to change my signals.
So, Ku, if we're not in a room with you when you're sending out the signals for the red alerts or the red news, is it safe to say to take the trades like 10 seconds before, unless you say otherwise? I'm just trying to figure out what the rule of thumb is on how to take those trades.
Talking about all the red news?
Yeah, all the red news. If we were just like, for example, you know how like the first week of the month and the last week of the month is mostly news driven? If we were taking those signals and we didn't have time to be in a Zoom chat with you and just take those signals, what is like the best way to take those trades? Because it's not, I read the manual, it's not in there. That's why I'm like wondering how to set those. If you weren't doing a stop loss or if you were. I mean, in this instance, we just got out in like 25, 30 seconds. Should we do all of them that way or is it going to vary? Because in the second instance, you said you're going to wait until after the spike is done.
Most importantly, every single red news that I sent so far, you should take it right away. And if you don't take it right away, then basically I won't recommend getting on the retracement either, because when the retracements hit, then it's just a retracement. It doesn't really show a direction of the next trend. What you want to see is a trend to follow. And here, Australia is still trying to push back up because they're expecting good news from the rate decision. So I don't expect anything good out of them, and they don't even plan on raising rates either. So Australia's got to drop back, and everything is going to be priced in for this. Now they are going to send it up. And I know they're sending it up right now. I mean, we're looking at the 15-minute chart. You can see how it's trying to push. It's still pushing up right now, and they're gonna try and jack it up. And as soon as that, who's the bank guy? Oh, I forgot his name. But once he stays his little statement on why the rates didn't change or why they didn't raise the rates, then it's gonna go right back down.
So that's why it's not safe to have a stop loss in that instance, because it could just take you out right away and then go to your profit.
Yeah, I don't ever use stop loss because you have to build that level of confidence in trading news, and since I understand that you're new to this, so you're gonna see a lot of crazy retracements and unexpected events, and also candles all over the place because we have 29 red news this whole week. We have 6 tomorrow, so I'll have my prediction set out for Canada. US has got their red news as well, so there's a lot of stuff to look at because Tuesday we're going to be coming into almost what's going on Tuesday. Yep. So you have 2 red news for Canada, 1 red news for the UK speech, and then Brainerd, the FOMC Brainerd is speaking, and also Kaplan is speaking. Brainerd is hawkish, but Kaplan is dovish, so can be half and half on the U.S. dollar index. Most importantly is we have more red news and more medium impact news on Australia again. The gross domestic product here is another interesting, they were talking about today already. And so this is going to be another driving factor for the Australian dollar, along with RBA's Governor Philip Lowe's speech. He has to deliver what they plan on doing for this quarter. If he doesn't deliver what they expect out of him, Australian dollar is going to go right back down. And so there's a lot of stuff to look at for Australia this week. I mean, I know non-farm payroll is Friday, but I mean, there's a lot of heavy hitters for Australia tonight and then following tomorrow night. So that's why it's just best just to get in on the spike and then close out in a matter of 3-4 seconds. You don't want to swing anything, because after his speech tomorrow, we got the GDP, and if GDP ends up being good and his speech, let's just say his speech was bad, and GDP ends up being good, it's going to send it right back up. And so there's a lot of stuff to look at when there's back-to-back high impact news. I mean, I'm telling you, this is going to be like Tokyo is going to be a pretty crazy session this week. I mean, especially with the amount of impact on Australia. So
would you say the majority of the time we're always closing out within the first few seconds when we're taking news trades with you?
That's how I do it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's the only way I want to learn how to do it. So that's why I'm asking. Okay. So we're not going to ever hold it.
The only time you should hold it, very, very rarely do I ever hold anything on red news. The only time I hold it is if everything was positive on non-farm payroll, or if the Fed speech and little in the other news attached to the Fed speech. Like if the Fed was speaking and then they have the announcement for the interest rate decision, and then also they have the post announcements for the monetary policy, if everything was positive, you're gonna see two candles going up. Like I'm talking about two long candles going up. And that's when you know it's worth holding it throughout the whole session and up until London. I'm talking about New York, the afternoon in New York, all the way to Tokyo, all the way to London. There's going to be retracements during London, but guess what? When New York comes back, it's worth holding it again. And so that's something that drives the momentum and the trend. Really, there's so like I said on my last webinar, if you guys are watching it, and you guys still have the webinar from yesterday that's recorded, I talk about that. Certain high impact news dictate the trend right away. So what I'm saying is nothing new. It's just a bunch of, I feel like I've been repeating myself for the past 6 months, pretty much. So, I mean, if you rewatch the webinar, I mean, I'm not really like saying, oh, well, like I said, the only thing I change is if something major happens right now, then yeah, okay, we got to switch we got to change our signals and we got to do this, but other than that, I mean, I'm just constantly repeating myself pretty much.
So if non-farm payroll is like is good and it goes up with the following week, like be an uptrend as well, like because I remember you talked about something like that.
Yeah, I talked about that on the last webinar. I talked about that in the other webinar. I talked about that. I mean, I'm gonna re-outline again. February non-farm payroll. Okay, February non-farm payroll was positive on the 2nd of February. Okay, and Sunday started. The dollar followed non-farm payrolls positive news. And the dollar was up the whole week. And then next Sunday came by, which is the 11th. The dollar went on a sell that whole week. And then came right back up on Friday again. And then we bought the dollar, and then during the midweek, there was something major happening. I think it was the Fed. And then the dollar shot down, shot right back up, and then Wednesday and Thursday ended up being the sell instead. So when you have the Fed talking during the midweek, you have to expect reversals. Major impact with the U.S. economy. And so something like that is going to shift the momentum for every single currency. We're not the only ones looking at the Fed talking or any central bank that's going to be talking. You got investors, bankers, you got professional traders getting in, anticipating what they're going to say. They're predicting right away. You can see the anticipation of candles, and so what I'm saying is nothing new. I'm just repeating what I said on the last couple of webinars from, if we look back on Wednesday, if we look back on February and up until now, okay, if we come back to non-farm payroll this week, it's exactly a month ago. Are we going to buy or are we going to sell it? Where are they going to try and push the dollar? Are we following the same pattern from last month? If we're not going to follow the same pattern, then that means we're going to end up selling the dollar for the rest of this whole month. And so there's a lot of stuff to look at. So, I mean, I don't know. I hope what I said makes sense. If not, I mean.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and it's making more and more sense the more and more you repeat yourself.
Because, I'll be honest, you guys really gonna have to, if I'm uploading these 2-hour, 3-hour webinars and no one's really, taking the time to rewatch it, then you can always come back here and ask the same questions, and eventually you'll pick up and they'll click into your brain. So. Yeah, what I'm saying is nothing new. The only thing that's new is if if something happens now, I mean, I can't change it. I mean, I was okay. Well, we gotta switch our position. Something just maybe just happened. Then yes. But what I'm explaining is, is not nothing. Is like I've been explaining the same thing for the past 5-6 months already. So it's just repetitive information. Now to get into that whole level of focus and mindset about the future is totally different, because I haven't really talked about that yet. So, but I'll have a video set up for that later on when I have the free time, because almost every weekend now I've just been jam packed with personal sessions. So it's kind of tough to work around the personal sessions and then finding some time off for the family, and then even trying to find time for myself is tough too sometimes. And so there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I'm trying to finish up on, but this ain't getting wrapped up. And so sometimes I feel like time is not on my side, pretty much.
So you're really just going off the 4-hour daily, weekly, monthly. You're not really...
I don't, like I said, if anybody wants to learn how to scalp, I mean, most of you are on the yearly package. You can do for yourself. I even said on my disclaimer, it says scalping is on your own terms. And I mean, the only time I would scalp is just red news. I mean, I'm just basically getting in and getting out on the lower time frame. Like I said, very rarely do I ever look at the 30-minute chart, 15-minute, 5-minute, 1 minute. It's based on 4-hour daily, weekly, and monthly now, because you want to get good at setting yourself for the future. Where do you think the markets are going to push for each currency value for the next, like I said, for the next 3 to 6 months, or even till next year? You're gonna draw trend lines. You're gonna draw price targets, and every currency pair I have 5 to 6 price targets on the monthly chart, and then I have the next bump set up. Like I have like April, May, June, July, all the way till December, and I'm looking at, okay, if the dollar does hit this price and it keeps downtrending, this is the next price I'm looking at. If it doesn't hit this price, it's going to bounce back up and retrace itself for the next week or two. And then I'm constantly looking at the economic calendar, because I want to know what the upcoming news events are going to be. Now, the economic calendar doesn't state every single unexpected event. If there is a terrorist attack, if North Korea strikes again, if Trump out of nowhere says something, you have to be ready for those unexpected events. Currency Trading for Dummies talk about it, and it just throws people off, because they're like, well, I think that's a reversal because of what's happening right now. Well, you gotta read up on the news and figure out if it is a reversal. If it is, then yes, you would get out and reverse your positions. If it's just a small retracement, temporary, then you just let it ride out, and then it'll come back up or come back down. So there's a lot on the fundamental economics and news, and I don't know, just basically looking at the future of trading, pretty much. And instead of backtracking too much, I don't try and backtrack too much. I just look at, okay, this is what happened last year. A year ago, the US dollar index was at 100. Now it's at 89. In March 2017, it was at 100. Now it's March this year, 2018, it's at 89. Huge price drop. Where is it going to go for this year? all the way to the end of December, and it can bounce back up next year. So it's a lot. Like I said, there's more to it than just technical analysis. I hope I didn't give you guys too much information.
Yeah.
Or did I?
I don't know. Let me mute it.
I'm just kidding.
What are some of your predictions for the next quarter and so on and so forth?
What am I? What?
What are some of your predictions for the next quarter and so on?
For what pair?
UJ, I guess.
UJ? What? Well, UJ, like I said, I'll run through. I'll run through all the yen pairs here. USD JPY. I'm just gonna show you guys the monthly charts on all the yen pairs. And if you don't understand this is recorded. You're gonna go back and look at this. This is the third red candle on the monthly chart. That's pretty strong. When the first SAR started, I was like, man, it's a strong sell. No way I'm buying this. You don't ever go against on the parabolic SAR on the monthly chart.
That's the blue dot?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't ever go against it, especially on the monthly chart. That's a strong sell. And not far away, you break the 105.0. Okay, you can see this. The 105.0 is right here, back here. Okay, lines up with this. Okay, moments break 105. I'm looking for 102.5 here, but ultimately, I am looking for to break it down by 90, 98, 98 somewhere around here. That's like a long-term sell. Like if you were to get in, I wanted to keep selling all the yen pairs, but they're driving back up now because the Bank of Japan isn't releasing anything till Thursday night. Because I'm expecting Bank of Japan to be hawkish, raise the interest rates, and raise their economic inflation pretty much. And be really, really positive on what they're going to deliver for this Thursday. So the moment Thursday night comes and it comes to Bank of Japan at 7 o'clock, an hour after Tokyo, they're going to release it. It's going to be crazy. I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to sell all the yen pairs. This is just USD on the monthly chart. Now I'm going to show you guys all the yen pairs right now on the monthly. GBP JPYs is dropping back here at 147. I never ever seen USD GBP JPY that low. Usually it hovers around 150. It was staying around like 149 and 150 last year. And after the big drop from hitting 150 158 and all the way back down to 147. So that's a huge drop. I don't care how strong the pound is. Nothing go against the Bank of Japan. Euro JPY, you can see that Euro JPY broke the monthly parabolic SAR here. Now, like I said, they're back to retracing right now. But when Bank of Japan gets released this Thursday, because that's what all the yen pairs are waiting on anyway. Everybody's waiting on the statement, the interest rate, and the monetary policy. Let me show you, what was it, CAD JPY. You can see this, same thing, same setup. Monthly parabolic SAR here. It's strong downtrend. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing breaks 78 back down to 70. Let me show you Swiss franc JPY. It's about to break the SAR here. Okay, so it's about to break the SAR here. You can see how the dot, anytime the parabolic SAR, the dots get really, really close to the candle, is letting you know that the reversal is coming quick. Because the parabolic SAR does count as a momentum indicator. But I don't use it as momentum.
What do you use it for?
When it breaks the dot, that's all I look for. I don't ever try and.
Okay.
You follow the dot. I'm telling you, you follow the dot, so you're gonna get yourself caught. You're gonna get yourself caught. No, I have not seen anyone follow the monthly chart based on the parabolic SAR. I've not even seen anyone that does that. Even on the 4-hour chart can be pretty tricky. And sometimes the daily and the weekly can be a little bit more precise. But man, sometimes the 4-hour can get you. The 1 hour can get you. I mean, even the lower time frames can get you on the parabolic SAR. It's just a good reference point just to see the breakout on the dot, not to just rely on the dots for the next dot to the next dot to the next dot to the next dot.
Okay.
You rely on the dots too much, you don't get yourself caught. Especially when price changes or if there's high impact news, those dots are going to be gone instantly. And I remember using the dots, and all of a sudden when there's a high impact news, the dots get wiped out and the dots restart again, and you're like, oh crap, what do I do now? You know, and it's tough. Let me show you Australia JPY. You can see here. You can see here that it's already have 2 dots on the monthly parabolic SAR. What I'm showing you is long-term setup for selling all yen pairs. Not changing anything. Yes, it's a good buy since this morning. They've been retracing since this morning, and they're gonna keep retracing until Bank of Japan releases their statement this Thursday. You can see that NZD JPY has been downtrending for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. Every dot is a month. NZD is by far the weakest currency of this year so far. I've been following. And Australia is the second weakest. What other yen pairs are there? Is that it? I show you UJ, EJ, GJ, CAD, Swiss franc, NZD, 7 yen pairs on the monthly chart. So this should be a no-brainer of selling all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? A lot of people were asking me, and they're saying that, well, the US dollar is up, but then UJ is going down. How do we define that? When any central bank revises their economy, tries to increase inflation, and tries to make their economy stronger than any other country, nothing's gonna go against that. That's something that you have to read up on yourself on the economic side. I mean, it's basically an easy setup. It's basically a given setup.
Shower.
Mm.
I think shower.
It's a 7:30.
All right, what else?
Trade my account for me.
Yeah. Read the disclosure.
I do have some more things that would be good to go over so everyone could go. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. All right, you guys
No,
have
no,
a good
no,
night.
no, no, no. I've remembered why.
You guys have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Stop trolling me, man.
What? I don't troll nobody.
How do you interpret the news? Because I remember you always talking about, you're always looking for the buzzwords and stuff when you're reading like up on the fundamentals.
Yeah, so I'll show you FX Street. Here's what they were talking about the retail sales here for Australia. Yeah, so I'll highlight some keywords here for you guys on why I was going to sell it. Okay?
So
So I'm going to highlight the whole thing and read this whole thing to you guys. And I'm going to ask everyone what they got out of it.
Ah,
Okay? This is to test your ability on how to trade news. Trust me. I mean, what I wanted to do is I wanted to quiz people, because if I test your level of thinking and the way you interpret the markets, you're gonna pick up better more knowledge and more experience than just me giving you a whole spiel of information and you just only soak in like maybe 5-10% of it.
You should make like a quiz, like a test or something. See what we score.
I do have 10 quizzes on file, but I have not released it yet.
Okay.
I have not released it to anyone. And I mean, I can give you guys those quizzes, but I mean, the whole purpose of it is to like they're not just yes and no answers. But you have to explain why I'm asking you that question. If you can't explain it correctly, you basically fail. Ain't no true and false questions on my quiz. Yeah, you have to explain why I'm going to ask you some really strong open-ended questions, and you have to like explain what you see. Okay, this is what this is the setup I'm going to take in. This is the price that's going to be here. This is what I see for the uptrends, what I see for the downtrend. And you explain why you see this. It's a lot. It's like, I don't know. It's basically like boot camp, pretty much. I wanted to make a boot camp training, and those are some pretty tough questions to be answered.
a lot of people here that would fail that. The question.
Well,
the
you can
question's
go
not physical.
use my book.
No, I've read your book 6 times, and I'm still just now taking notes on maybe the first and second chapter.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you take one quiz. Maybe you probably get one right, maybe.
One
You
right.
really have to explain what you see, why you see this, is how you're gonna trade it. I mean, it's basically like a full paragraph on what my question is stated. And
No, I completely understand. I didn't even know what central banks. A non-member explained what central bank was. I didn't know each country had a central bank, but I know that today. Correct? Or was I falsely informed?
Yeah. Well, I'll touch base on this retail sales here, and then we can talk about that.
Okay.
So I'll read the whole thing for you guys. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read this. This is the main portion right here. The middle paragraph. It says that retail sales figures have been volatile recently, with November sales soaring 1.3%. Okay, I remember November was really better than expected. That's why Australia was shot up against the dollar a lot back in November, only to slide backward 0.5% to whatever 26,261 billion December. January is expected to post a moderate rebound after deal hunters splurged in November before cutting back in December, with a growing portion of population taking advantage of spending heavy days like Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Well, that was back in November, so November doesn't pertain to March. Most of the major categories in retail spend declined in January, only partially offset by a lift in food purchases. Median analysts forecasts are calling for a 0.4% rise. Okay? They're thinking it's going to rise.
Always go
You already see,
opposite.
you reading this, you're looking for keywords. I mean, this is basically already given right here. Median analysts forecast are calling for a 0.4% rise in the January figure. Okay. This falls in line with the National Australia Bank's cashless retail sales index, which has been fairly accurate predictor of the movement in the official figure, which indicates that sales likely grew by 0.4% or more for the period. So they're already expecting an increase already. If they're expecting a 0.4 increase, it's better than expected. When they say they expect an increase, it's better than what the forecast is. It's going to skyrocket back up. It's going to spike up instead of spiking down. This is another method of reading up on news if you're going to trade news. You got to look at this stuff. I would do it for you guys because you guys are paying for my service. But like I said, when you're on your own, you have to read everything. You have to educate yourself on the upcoming events, economic calendar, what's going to happen next week, what's possibly going to happen next month or next quarter. I'm constantly updating my brain every single day while I'm at school or with the kids or even out shopping with my wife. Don't matter. You know, my wife thinks I'm crazy. I'm constantly looking at it. I'm constantly thinking about what's going to happen. But this is something that I'm banging my head on every single day. I mean, I'm not just like, oh well, I just think that we're just gonna, if all you hear is me saying, oh, I think is gonna do this, or I think is gonna do that, or this is just my little prediction. No, I want to know for sure where it's gonna go. I don't mess around no more. I messed around way too much in the beginning. That's why I lost a lot of money. So you gotta get good at it every single day and learn from these mistakes. So back to the news here. If they're expecting an increase, you gotta look at Australia, look at the pair, and if they're thinking it's gonna increase, guess where it was going? It was spiking up before the news. It was spiking up before the news. As soon as it was released, spiked down. I mean, it didn't spike down hard enough, but you can see where the anticipation of candles was going, and you can see that it was breaking out from the 15-minute Bollinger Bands. Anytime it breaks out that much, it's gonna drop back. It doesn't just keep going up. That's another indication. If you use the Bollinger Bands, anytime it breaks out that much before the news, it's gonna send itself back down pretty hard. And so, but we got back-to-back red news for Australia tonight, and we got back-to-back news for Australia tomorrow. So you have to start looking ahead, and it's just like I said, it's just a lot. I mean, it's really a lot to look at. But once you see how they interpret the news, who actually made this decision? Joshua Gibson. Who is he? Doesn't really state. It doesn't really state who he is. So I don't know. Click on him.
The websites you list in your book are the ones you still use?
Yes.
Okay. See, I could ask a stupid question, what sites do you use? But I do recall I've read them 4 times. So, no.
Yeah, I mean, no, I understand. Yeah, I still use. Most importantly, you should use fxstreet.com. Click on news. You should look at investing.com on forex news.
Right. I'm trying to learn, Mr. Lee.
Bloomberg is pretty good if you have the time to watch Bloomberg.
Hey,
Not everyone really has the time to watch it.
we have cell phones.
Yeah,
It's on.
Bloomberg has an app.
Yes. I haven't watched it, but I'm just saying.
I mean, here I'll show you what this is what Kathy Lean said. The Reserve Bank of Australia meets Monday night, and traders shouldn't expect much from the central bank as there hasn't been any meaningful traction in the Australian economy over the past few months. Well, she predicted it right on the retail sales was going to be bad. Pretty good on her. She's actually pretty good on predicting a lot of news. Now, this is what they look at.
Well, we can't see what you're pointing at, but go ahead.
No, but they're looking at. Oh shoot! I'm sorry, I didn't share my screen.
Yeah.
Oops. I didn't share my screen at all. Crap.
No. You haven't for the past hour.
Dang it! You guys should have told me. This is what I was reading.
Really testing us.
This is what I was reading. Okay, right here on fxstreet.com. Okay. They're calling for a 0.4% rise for January figures, which it wasn't. Now this is what they look at to see if it's worth raising interest rates, and is it worth raising more interest rates for the next quarter. If every single economic data that gets released, number one is jobs. Jobs creates wages, more consumer spending, right? Supply and demand,
Economic growth.
Yeah, you want to increase your the economy. If there's and then plus home sales runs the second factor, because if not a lot of people are buying homes, when someone buys a home, there's a lot of money that gets invested in the home. I don't know if you guys looked into the home industry or the real estate industry. How my mortgage lender broke it down when I tried to become a mortgage lender. He said this: when someone buys a home, guess what they got to do to the home? They got to fix it up. They got to fix something up, right? Guess what? That's more money coming out. They're spending. They're constantly spending on the house, fixing it, improving it. They gotta get new appliances. That's more spending. When someone buys a home, look at how much they spend inside the home, not outside. I'm talking about inside.
Yeah,
right.
It's thousands
of dollars. That's why the consumer spending.
It is.
Yeah, consumer spending in real estate is huge. So this is all on economics. If not enough people are buying homes, then you got the banks have to ask themselves, like, okay, do we lower the interest rate so that more people can buy homes, or if there's more people, if the real estate is booming, which it is, then we have to jack up the interest rate. So that's another thing. There's so much stuff to look into this. Now, she has more bearish verdicts than bullish. So last week, the Reserve Bank of Australia already announced that they wasn't going to do anything with the rates anyways. So that's why I don't expect to buy it. But they will jack it up for that first spike. Okay? They're going to jack it up regardless. But after that little statement, whatever, I forgot who's going to be. But Well, wherever that statement comes out from that central bank speaker, whatever, I forgot his name, but when he says his statement, then it's gonna go right back down. So you get to see the overall structure of the economy of that country, and I mean,
No, I get it.
I mean, I don't know.
I get it. Go ahead.
I mean, I recommend anyone to take an economics class just to or read the first chapters of fundamentals in currency trading for dummies. They run through the whole thing. They run through what happens if unemployment is up, what happens if the employment for the workers go down. They talk about non-farm payroll. They talk about every single currency's economic side. I read all those chapters at least 3 or 4 times because I wanted to know the economic side. I got sick and tired looking at the charts because when there's unexpected retracements and spikes, I didn't know what was going on until I started looking at the economic calendar, and then I started
losing your money.
I started looking at all the news, all the forex news. Why does it impact so much on the economic side? So I'm more focused on fundamentals than technical. And like I said, once I master the economic side, I don't care about charts anymore.
No, because you already can set your positions and let it go.
You basically what I want to do is basically yeah. I mean, basically what I want to do is I want to knock every indicator out and just do this. Come on. This is what I want to do. No more parabolic SAR. No more.
No, you read the fundamentals for the year. You know to go ahead and set this and just let it ride. 8 months from now, you're smiling big.
This is how I was looking at charts when I first started. And then all I did was I added the moving average, RSI, and MACD, and that's how I flipped 350, 26,000 because that's all I used back then. And I started adding more indicators, and then I started to realize that the more indicators I added, I got more confused because I was like, you know what? I'm not that technical. If you have more than 4 indicators, you gotta know what your primary indicators. You gotta know what your secondary indicator to rely on. If you don't know what primary and secondary indicator that you rely on, then you just have a bunch of indicators just sitting there for nothing. You're gonna get
guilty.
You're gonna get yourself caught. You're gonna get yourself. You're gonna be like, oh man, I don't know what to do now because I don't know if I should follow RSI or should I follow the MACD or should I follow the Bollinger Bands or should I follow this.
Mr. Lee, dead sample of it. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah,
No, I have 6 indicators, and usually the top 2, I don't know what they are, but the top 2 are more accurate than the bottom 4.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I want to do. I mean, all I do is I want to look at news and be like, okay, let me look at the 4-hour chart. Okay, let me see where the candles are going. Okay, this is really bullish here. Coming up to this right here, to this resistance here at 0.779. It's going to try and break it. And then we got news coming out at this time. Okay, then they're going to send it back down. That's it. That's the most easy way to just look at it. I'm tired. I'm going to say, oh, well, if you look at the Bollinger Bands, if you look at MACD, if you look at RSI, no, I don't want I just want to go no indicators. You know, I want to try and go no indicators by the end of summer. That is my goal, is to go no indicators by the end of summer.
Crew, if we're weekly swinging, should we look at anything? Because I want to know what to put on my phone and look at and what.
On the phone?
Yeah, like what indicators should I have like on my phone to look at?
The most basic way is you should have the moving average. If not, then at least have the Bollinger Bands, because the Bollinger Bands, they have the middle band is a 20 simple moving average on the default settings.
Is that on the 4 hour or every hour? It's 20.
It's every time frame.
Okay, so it's 20.
You can change it up if you want to. Someone.
I believe her question, she's wanting to flip.
No, I just wanted to know. So should we look at indicators at all when we're swinging, or you don't even want us looking at that then either?
No, you wanna bounce off some kind of indicator.
Which one do you suggest?
Oh man, to suggest, it really all comes down to. I mean, like I said before, if you have more than 4 indicators, you gotta know what your top indicator is that you follow at all times. Like my number one indicator on top is the Bollinger Bands. It had nothing to do with the moving average. And then my bottom indicator that I follow the most is the stochastic oscillator, because it's faster and more responsive. Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you, whoever.
Sang, Mr. Sang.
Mr. Sang. That's from doing all the push-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta look good when I trade forex.
All right.
Now. Come on.
What is he doing? Hold on, let me mute.
Where are we at?
What's up?
Quickly. What do you want?
What are we doing?
We're shining boxes.
You want chips? Buttons?
Shining box.
Shoe shine box.
Buttons?
Yeah,
What do you want?
Like what Tim said.
yeah,
It's Yimmy.
yeah, it is.
Shoe shine box.
How you doing, Yimmy?
I'm doing okay.
Think up.
How about you?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Somebody asked me a
I
question.
missed all the juicy parts.
They still make juicy box.
I said I missed all the juicy parts.
I know that. I was being funny. I have kids, so.
Can you study for Spanish test?
This dollar's gonna go past
with underwear.
89.87 coup.
I didn't look at. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't look at the dollar.
It's been there.
Been too busy explaining too much stuff. 89.9. Man, that's the same. It's the same thing. It's doing the same crap like yesterday.
Yeah.
Because ultimately I'm looking for 89. Well, if it comes down here, then yeah, because I'll break this. Because I mean, we look at last night. I mean, this is what it's been doing.
Yeah.
Because it's not going down enough to keep selling it, and it's still at 89.9. So it's not far away from 90. So it's kind of like if I post a signal right now, is it really worth selling the dollar? And all of a sudden, and then if you guys got in, and all of a sudden the dollar just jacks itself back up, then you basically just got in for nothing.
Yeah.
That's why I was talking about 9 o'clock, because yesterday at 9 o'clock, the dollar retraced right back to close to 90. And I was like, damn, what the hell? You know, what do we do here? And so it's tough. And that's why after the red news from the RBA, then I'll be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do for Tokyo, and then this is what to expect for London. And so I'm not gonna send anything out. All of a sudden something just reverses right away. The most important thing is we're gonna focus on the red news for the impact of Australia, and then after that, then we'll go ahead and then focus on swinging whatever pairs are going up and going down the most. Because I mean, this week is really heavy news driven. So
90 something red news, correct?
What's up?
I think you said 90 something red news all week.
90? Yeah.
I was asking.
Yeah, 90.
All right, Mr. Lee.
There's 29. There's 29 red news.
Okay. It's all good.
I mean, like I said, you can't go wrong buying UJ, EJ, GJ, all the empires. You can't go wrong buying them because
your voice can't do like this. What happened?
because if we were, like I said, UJ is trying to break 106 point. Did that, you guys are still buying UJ, right? Because I said I was gonna swing UJ to 106.4, and if it breaks 106, because I said that these candles are above the middle band. Anytime this candle is above the middle band, it's gonna try and shoot for the 4-hour band at 107.2 here. Okay, remember 107.2 was top resistance last week. Okay, the opening gap on last Sunday was 107.2. If it breaks 107.2, it's going to try and shoot for 108. So it just depends how much they're going to try and jack up the yen pairs until Thursday night release for Japan. So you can't go wrong buying the yen pairs because they're all up. UJ's up, but if you look at USD Swiss franc and USD CAD, they're going down with the dollar. How can you explain that? You should already look at, okay, the outcome of Thursday is going to send the yen pairs down if they're all retracing back up since this morning. Had nothing to do with the US dollar index. If the US dollar index and USD JPY is going up, there's a reason why USD JPY is going up. USD JPY and the dollar index is not opposite pairs. So you can't go wrong buying the yen pairs since this morning and up until Thursday. Like I said, when Thursday hits, you're gonna see that major reversal. Because like I said, I'm expecting the Bank of Japan to deliver, positive news and raise that interest rate. And so this will be the first time I'm ever going to see the Bank of Japan raise interest rates, because they haven't raised interest rates for a very, very long time, at least 3-4 years now. So this is something that is going to shock, be it's like a shock wave to the yen pairs, and so it's going to send it right back down.
I get it. Everyone's so quiet.
Yeah, that makes sense. Most people have their mic turned off.
Yeah, I think it's Ricardo's turn to explain some stuff.
No.
Ricardo is a expert trader.
Yeah.
He's going to explain technical analysis.
Get out of here.
Because I don't know anything about technical analysis, so.
You're only fundamental.
What?
I said you were only fundamental.
No, I'm more focused on fundamental and economics.
I know. Come on, Koo.
But I mean, if I'm outlining the charts here, I mean, obviously we're dealing with technical analysis now. I had nothing to do with. The only fundamental part I was talking about was the Bank of Japan. So
yes, on Thursday.
Which is Thursday, and
yes, I listen.
And so USD JPY is up, but USD Swiss franc and USD CAD is down, following the dollar's downtrend. So USD JPY is a very, very unique US based currency pair on its own, and so it is what it is. I gotta check gold. I haven't checked gold yet. Gold back up. Yeah, 1322.
See, my broker only allows micro trade on those. So I stay away from it for now.
Yeah. So very rarely do I ever buy USD JPY and gold at the same time. This is like the best time to buy them at the same time. Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
You can't be like, well, if UJ is going up, then gold's gotta go down. No.
No,
Dollar's
that's,
going down, but how can you explain that JPY is going up?
all right, Mr. Lee, I'm out.
You what?
I'm out.
Where?
I got to go. It's bedtime for me. 9 o'clock.
What? Okay.
What?
Okay.
Hey, I got to get up and go to work. I will rewatch this. You do repost these, correct?
No, I don't. You have to pay for it.
No shit. You guys have a good night, and thank you for your time, Mr. Lee.
Yep.
He's 10.
Guys,
Good night, man.
Tomorrow, you guys are gonna pay double the price.
All right. Night, Yemen. Night, Sang.
All right. Good night, Kenneth.
Thank you.
Good night, Kenneth.
Good rest.
I will do.
Well, we can expect UJ to
Yeah.
go up.
If you can see UJ right now. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Now the next 4-hour candle just started because it's 8 o'clock right now.
Oh.
Okay. I'm expecting this next 4-hour candle to break 106.4 and try and shoot for 106.6. All I'm doing is I'm just increasing it. Okay. I'm just increasing 20 pips. Yeah. So and then the real breaker is the 106.8 and the 107. This is going to be pretty strong here. That needs a break. You can see if I outline this. I mean, really needs to break the 107 mark to be a strong buy. But anytime candles are above the moving the middle band, then it's going to try and shoot for the upper band. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's what I was looking for. Once this little green candle here, the bullish candle, stayed above and closed it, I was like, all right, great. It's going to try and shoot for the upper band. That's another confirmation to look at if you're using the Bollinger Band. Okay, I don't care how overbought it is on the stochastic. I don't care about that anymore. What I'm looking for is the next price that's trying to shoot for.
Right.
Now, if they're sending all the yen pairs up since this morning, then we're gonna sell it. We're gonna sell it for the Bank of Japan on Thursday. Okay.
Right.
So basically, you can ride this out till Thursday, pretty much.
Sweet.
All the yen pairs, like I said, all the yen pairs have been on a sell. If we were to look at, if you were to look at the weekly, look how much they've been on a sell. I mean, look at UJ. UJ's been on a sell for a long, long time. Okay. Finally picked up here on this bullish candle here. Been oversold for so long. How can you go off this oversold indicator? You can't.
Right.
You have to look at if the most important thing of this week is the Bank of Japan then they're going to try and jack it up before the Bank of Japan releases their announcements. What does daily band have it at? Daily band has it set at pretty close to 107.2 here, where it outlines. So you can't go wrong. It'll probably hit the middle band on the daily, which is 107.2. 107.2 is on the upper band on the 4-hour, but on the middle band on the daily.
Right.
Perfectly lines up somehow. I don't know how to explain it, but if you look at the upper band on the 4-hour,
Oh yeah,
the middle
I've noticed that. Yeah,
on
I've
the
noticed
middle band, yeah. If you look at that, they're pretty accurate on lining up together on that price. And
Yeah, I
there's
remember you
probably a
saying.
reason. Yeah. There's a
And you
reason
showed
why
all the
they have-
numbers on the slide. They all have a meaning. Because I used to think they were random,
Yeah.
but they actually do have a. They usually are like support or resistant points or something like that.
Yeah. So if that's the price to bounce off the middle band, then guess what? It's gonna bounce off 107.2 on Thursday and send itself right back down. And then it's not gonna break the SAR then.
Right. Okay.
Okay? The SAR is too far away for it to break it. Now, if the candle closed above the middle band on the daily, then I'm buying it all the way. But we already know what to expect. I don't expect to change anything unless something really major happens to the Bank of Japan and I misread something. But this, I mean, I show you guys the monthly chart already. The monthly chart for all yen pairs is a strong sell for the next 2-3 months. Okay.
Mhm.
Until it hits that bottom band, and we'll see if they jack it even down further. Because I'm expecting a breakout on the bottom band on the monthly chart. After that breakout, then it's got to reverse back up. But the question is it a reversal or is it just a retracement, right? Because if we were to look at the weekly on USJPY, I mean, this bullish candle resistance, right? Found support here, came back, nope, didn't do anything. Came back down, came back up again, and is it really gonna, is it really time for it to actually come back up? This is not enough for me to consider buying it all the way. The best time to buy it when it jacked down to 105 point, was it 105 point something? What was it? 105.4 was at its lowest. That was the best time to buy it because you're buying it at the bottom of the breakout of the weekly band, and it came right back up to 10. I know it came back to 107.2, but then they expected 106. So you can't really be buying it until the Bank of Japan releases it. That's just another way of buying it at the bottom of the band and then letting it ride up for that whole week because you found the weekly chart. And then once the weekly candle closes, you're still gonna be in profit. Just that if you were to follow the 4-hour and the daily, you'll be more in profit because when there's news comes out like that, then you want to get out before that happens. Because that weekly candle is gonna be half that candle when the Bank of Japan comes out. So you gotta be careful when if you're trading all yen pairs, and you gotta be ready when Bank of Japan on all the Asian sessions. I mean, they've been pretty active, for this whole year. So let's see here. Where did gold hit at? Gold hit 1320. Gold didn't even hit 1328. What the heck? That is weak. I don't even know if it's worth buying it. The best time to buy was at 1317. Wow. What year to buy gold? It's got to break 1326. Yeah, the dollar still at 89.91. That's why, like I said, the best pairs to buy is all the yen pairs. I mean, we'll run through all this. UJ, let's see, GBP, JPY is up. Look at this. It bounced off of 145 back to 147. That's mad pips. I don't know how to explain, but the GBP, JPY moves so much in pips.
Yeah.
Against any other yen pair. If you were to trade a yen pair, it'd be GBP, JPY. I don't know how to explain, but that thing moves fast. I'll send out the signal on that one. Because I'm expecting this thing to come back to 148.
You want to trade the USD Brazilian dollar? It's up 0.47%.
Hey, where's it? What? The what? The USD what?
USD Brazilian.
USD Brazilian.
USD BRL.
BRL.
Yeah.
It's going down. How much can you make off of this?
Like a lot, man. Like it's
Oh,
really.
really?
Yeah, it's like one of those. It's like that. It's like the USD whatever Nick was showing us yesterday.
Oh yeah, the USD ZAR. That thing was a lot of money.
Did you get in on that or?
I lost $20 off that 0.02.
What?
Yeah. And in less than 10 minutes, I lost $20. I said I'm not trading it.
It's
kind of like just trading,
man.
Kind of like trading Ripple.
Yeah, it's like Ripple. It's exactly like those currencies like Ripple, man.
You can make a lot of money, but I was like, I'm not gonna mess with it. I mean, I lost 150 on gold. I mean, no, on oil because they jacked up oil prices for the meeting.
Damn.
Yeah, so I just got out. I wasn't gonna waste my time on oil. Yeah, I was trying to sell oil, but they jacked it up $3 today. I'm not gonna mess with it. I lost money. It was on a 0.03, I think. Yeah, 0.03. $150.
Ooh.
A lot. Just for a $3 difference, I wasn't gonna mess with that.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
$3 difference for 100. Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's like £50.
I know that's like trading crypto pretty much. That's crazy, man. I was like, man, I'm not gonna mess with this. I lost so much. I was like, I'm not doing this. Yeah, I'm not used to exotic pairs. Euro JPY is kicking butt too, so I'm gonna put a signal for that. Yeah, you can't go wrong buying all the yen pairs till Thursday. So if you want to keep riding them out, just make sure you set your stop loss because they are going to retrace back for New York sessions for that first hour, but then they're going to jack right back up. And so
Wow, man. UJ's really. Whoa, why don't I get on this sooner?
yeah, like I said, the best time to buy UJ was this morning.
Damn.
Yeah, you can't. Like I said, you can't go wrong buying the yen pairs until Thursday when Bank of Japan releases their interest rate and the banking policy. And so, I mean, if you really follow all the yen pairs, UJ went up. Like UJ just started going up, and then all of a sudden, EJ and GJ just started following the uptrend. And I'm like, okay, well, they're getting ready to be on the sell on Thursday.
Mm.
They can't jack themselves back up again when Bank of Japan releases their announcement. It'll make no sense. Because a lot of people are speculating, like I said, a lot of people are speculating that that the Bank of Japan isn't going to do anything like they've been, because they haven't been really hawkish or positive for the past, I don't know, it's almost 5 years. And so if you were to backtrack on the yen, the value of yen wasn't really strong, and their economy hasn't been really sustainable lately. So now they decided to revive their economy this year. It just basically reverses everything.
Mm. Why have they decided to? Is there a reason they've decided to revive the economy? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's about Olympic.
What was the main event that brought that up? The main event. I'm gonna try and find this. I read this a long time ago. Let's see. Come on, dude! I can't read the full story. Oh, really? I gotta pay for this? No. I know they started their asset purchasing program and their stimulus program at the end of the year, last year. Okay. Governor, I don't want to mess up his name. Kuroda said that during the fiscal year starting April 2019, the BOJ would probably be considering the details of an ending exit. So what they want to do is, right here. BOJ, let's see, exit and comment, monetary policy is not all powerful, contrast, views. There's some more candidates that they're trying to get into the Central Bank of Japan here. And but that's not what I'm worried about. Bank of Japan can theoretically no limits to what the BOJ can do to achieve the 2% inflation target. And it should mull boosting stimulus if it became hard for prices to hit that level. They indicated it's very unlikely for BOJ to change policy anytime soon. I'm not worried about that, because once you change it, then the value of the yen drops a lot.
right. Okay.
You see a massive spike going up for UJ, EJ, GJ. You see all of them spiking up like crazy.
What, on Thursday? Or...
No, not for Thursday. But I'm talking about like if they were to like say, we're not gonna try and achieve our economic inflation and revive our economy, and we're not gonna if they're not gonna do their it's basically a program for the banks to recover.
Oh, right.
Once they recover, no other currency can go against that, because they're making their value of their own currency stronger than any other currency. So let's see. They will feature BOJ's policy. Okay. This is important. Even after 5 years of stimulus under Corolla, inflation is still less than half the bank's target, and it's bought so many assets over the period that its balance sheet is almost the same size as Japan's annual output. So,
Wow.
in 5 years, I'm talking about. That's why I said it's really crucial. If you look at the 5 year, if you look at the monthly chart and backtrack 5 years ago, look how strong UJ, EJ, GJ. Look how strong they were 5 years ago, and backtrack all the way till now. I'm telling you, they've been up for a long time against the Japanese dollar. This is just basically just current news. What the most important one was when they actually started this stimulus program. That was the most important one because they outlined what they plan on doing for the next 5 years. Okay, remember, Corolla's been with them for 5 years, and he hasn't really done much for the inflation. And so, if the inflation doesn't increase, then there's not enough consumer spending. There's not enough wages going around. There's not enough jobs going around. There's not enough retail sales. There's not enough this. Every country hits a certain inflation, and they want to achieve it. Once they achieve it, then they start raising interest rates. But what I'm going to see is if they're only halfway there, then they have to raise interest rates to get there faster. That's the other way. If they jack it up, it's gonna be really, really crazy for all yen pairs going down, and the value of the Japanese dollar is gonna go up. So it just makes, like I said, the economy stronger for the Bank of Japan. Nothing's gonna go against that. So, yeah, if I can backtrack, I mean, if you backtrack, so is it? When did they start announcing it? In the fall, they started announcing it, and then in November or was it either November or December? They decided to start the asset purchasing program with the stimulus, and so that's what started shifting all the yen pairs. But nothing really major happened until this year, when January kicked in. So you guys gotta look at what's going to happen at the next 5 years for the Bank of Japan.
Okay.
So, that's going to be huge for the next 5 years. UJ could go all the way back down to 70. Damn, 5 years. Let's see here. What's the lowest UJ was at? Yeah. 76. There's like a pattern right here. You know what I'm saying? See how it hit high here? Hit high here? Yeah. Almost the same price?
Yeah.
Almost the same price. Tumbling
That's
down.
like 5 years as well.
Almost the same setup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Almost the same setup. So, like I said, if it breaks 100, I'm looking for 98. Breaks 98, I'm looking for 92. Breaks that, I'm looking for 8. I mean, like I said, you just start looking at the next price. Man, 72. Holy crap. 72 from 106. That's huge money. That's a lot of money. So, I mean, like I said, it could follow the same setup from, what is this setup? 2008. That's 10 years ago.
It's 5 years each time.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you're gonna see this pattern. It does not change. I'm telling you, what's going to happen in the next 5 years? What's going to happen in the next 10 years? I'm telling you, this something major is happening right now. It's crazy how this is all just like, clicking in.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did you start seeing the patterns from just like literally looking at the charts for like 10 hours?
I didn't start seeing patterns until I started testing my own patterns. And
how'd you come up with your own patterns though?
Every 12 hours. Okay, there's 24 hours in the day. Each session is usually 8 hours.
Yeah.
And if there's 8 hours in a day, and if we go out the 4-hour chart, then you get to see 2 4-hour candles in each session. And I started to notice that it's more accurate just go out the 4-hour chart, because I'm tired of looking at the 1-hour chart. Because if you look at the 1-hour chart, you get for 8-hour session, you get eight candles for every hour. Sometimes it can get confusing because one of them can be a retracement, and then one of them can be for the news, and you don't know what to do with that. But you look at the 4-hour, and you're like, man, that's a pretty strong candle on the 4-hour. I don't care about the retracement; it'll drop back down. But eventually, when the new 4-hour candle starts, and if it's above the moving average, I'm buying it all the way. I'm not changing it. Same thing if the 4-hour candle was below the middle band or the moving average. I was going to sell it regardless. And so I was basically just testing out like a 4-hour method on the 4-hour chart, and then what I did after that was I started testing a 12-hour pattern, and then I think I talked about the 12-hour pattern on the book. I think I did. And then I started looking at the weekly and the monthly at the end of the summer, and I'm like, you know what? How can I get better on a weekly swing and on a monthly swing? Monthly swings are pretty tricky because you have to have the patience to let it swing for that long, for 30 days straight, until the new month starts. Now, for the weekly, you have 4 weeks, so you can break it down every single day. Whenever Tokyo starts on Sunday, you can follow it. But, I mean, for this week, we can't really follow a weekly trend because there's going to be a lot of ups and downs, and every single day is red news. So on that particular week, you can't do anything for weekly swinging. First week and the last week of the month is pretty crucial, because the first week is just trying to catch up on what happened on the last week of the month, and then the last week is anticipating what's coming up for the new month. So you get to see a pattern there, and then I'm backtracking on last month's pattern from non-farm payroll to the upcoming non-farm payroll, whether it's going to be a reversal or whether it's going to follow the same pattern from last month. More than likely, what I see is it might just end up following the same pattern, because I'm expecting to buy for non-farm payroll anyways, because they're already expecting the non-farm payroll to be bad. So from the 4-hour method to the 12-hour method to each session, 8 hours of sessions. I mean, it's a lot of stuff a lot of patterns that but some work and some don't. I mean, and it all comes down to what the particular week is. There's so much red news this week, we can't really go off, any kind of pattern unless you're just trading red news. Then yes, there's a news pattern for that, but you're gonna see what methods you want to bounce off of after being with me for so long. And so I'll give you a bunch of methods. Basically, you just want to have it on the side just in case to rely on if your method isn't working. What else should I talk about? Someone trying to chat with me.
Someone asking for free signals.
No. I told those guys to leave me alone. Yeah, I told those guys to leave me alone. I told them, I said, if you're gonna bug me that much for signals, you might as well just pay for it. Because it just takes my time away to talk to them, and they're not paying for anything. You guys are paying for it. You know.
Yeah.
You know that's not fair, and that doesn't justify. You know that you guys are more important than some random person asking me for a free signal. Doesn't make any sense why I would jump into someone that doesn't pay for my service and just trying to bug me all the time.
Yeah. That's...
Do you check the fever.com?
By what?
The fever.com.
What's that?
Last time talked about for the web page.
Oh,
So I create
Fiverr.com.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Go ahead.
Because
No,
yeah, I
go
told
ahead. I was trying to answer someone's question, but
I told you find out for the fever.com already.
the comment.
No, the website, man. He showed you.
Oh, what website? What website?
The Fiverr.com. Is it Fiverr?
The fever.com.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's it, Fiverr.
Fiverr.com.
Fiverr. Yeah, man. I checked it out. I posted like I made a profile, and then I posted what I was offering, and then I've been looking at people. I've been looking at some people that are doing professional website development, so I'm trying to get with them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's actually a pretty cool site.
It's cool, right? You also can promote your signal also.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool, man.
Let's say for your ebook, right? I think you can sell it on the ClickBank.
Yeah.
ClickBank, you know, right?
Yeah, you were showing me that too.
No, that is the ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is different.
Yeah.
ClickBank is well for the books. Let's say you're selling your books, you can sell it on ClickBank.
Gotcha. Hang on, guys. I gotta. Someone pay for the service. I gotta add this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I got like 10 emails from him. Holy crap! He was wondering when I was gonna add him. Hang on, dude. I'll add you. Oh, crap. Okay. Man, there's so much stuff going on.
Yeah.
So how many one-on-ones are you doing at the moment?
No, I don't do one-on-ones Monday through Friday. It's so crazy.
Ah, cool.
It's so crazy. I'm already booked for this weekend. I don't want to do anything right now. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. It's like, oh man.
Can't you just do like a mass web like you do for this? Just do a mass webinar and get it all done in like one?
No, because so many people. I tried doing that, and so many people. It's just because what I end up doing is if I get them all come in, like most of them are not comfortable asking me those questions that they want to ask.
Oh yeah.
They just sit back and just sit there and not ask me, and then also when I'm done with the webinar, then like, hey, I had some questions, but I didn't want to ask, but these are some questions I had. I'm like, what? I'm like, Could have just asked all these questions, and I said, you know what? Okay, I'll just do it one-on-one for now. Yeah. Oh. Okay.
UJ having break.
I know. All the yen pairs. Come on.
Going out now.
Well, I mean, we're coming into 8:30, right? We're coming into the second hour of Tokyo, so yeah. If you bought EJ, GJ, and UJ this morning, you're golden. You're set.
Yeah.
Just sell it when Tokyo Thursday.
But I sell it.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let them ride all the way till Thursday, and then Tokyo opens. I'm getting out, and then wait for the what time they're gonna release it. They're gonna release. Oh, they're gonna release it. What? Where's that? Wow. Is that? Well, that's actually pretty. Okay, so they're gonna release it at 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock. So I'll do a quick. Yeah, I'll do a quick session with you guys on the first hour, and then I'll get out, and then when before BOJ, the Bank of Japan releases at 10 o'clock, then I'll have the webinar set up for that, and then after that, then that's it.
Okay.
So
sure. Oh, hold on, hang on. Japan 10 o'clock. What time is it for?
10 o'clock Central Time. So that's in an hour and 30 minutes.
An hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
For US?
Yeah, in an hour and 30 minutes it'll be 10 o'clock because it's 8:30 right now.
For me, it's different.
Yeah, I think it'll be like noon your time, or like I think it'll be 10 in the afternoon for you.
Because right now my site is 10:36, so I think.
Okay, so it'll be 12 in the afternoon for you then.
Oh yeah. Very correct.
Because you're 14 hours ahead of me.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's a noon.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you're 14 hours ahead of me. So that's the only way I can break it down. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, 3 candle. So quiet right now.
Yeah.
I will be right back.
You trading, Eric?
Huh?
You trading right now?
Yeah, I still trading.
Ah, sweet.
I still checking for the UJ.
Yeah.
It's going up now. 3 candle.
Yeah, I'm in that.
But I haven't seen GJ and EJ.
Yeah, same.
Oh yeah. Let's say I sell. I didn't sell for the Bitcoin. Bitcoin.
Oh, Bitcoin. Yeah.
last night, whoa, man, drop being so huge. Yeah.
Did you make money?
I did. I didn't. I
Nice.
didn't.
You didn't, or you did?
I didn't. No,
Oh,
no. I didn't.
yeah.
I didn't sell it because I forget. Today we will be retraced.
Yeah, man.
I forget it.
Cryptos, cryptos will bankrupt you, man. They not to be messed
No,
with.
no. I buy it from 10956. Then
Mm.
after that, I close it at 11460 around there. Then
Yeah.
I didn't because I remember there will be retrace, but I didn't. I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even touch cryptos. I tried to trade cryptos on the weekend, and it just didn't go my way.
Yeah.
So I didn't bother. Once again, cryptos.
Yeah.
So nah. I'm waiting until
I forget got the retrace.
Yeah.
It's sad. But Bitcoin right now keep going down.
Are you still selling Bitcoin, Ku?
I
You know
didn't
what?
sell it.
I'm not even looking at crypto.
Okay.
The main focus is forex. I already stated that that I'm gonna be more focused on forex and be less more focused on crypto, and then that's why I reversed everything on the prices and the time I'm gonna put in for crypto. So whoever paid for the monthly services is gonna get the crypto signals included. So
Okay.
the most important thing is to speed everybody up for forex because if you come in the webinar for forex, then I basically just talk about basically the same thing. But the most important thing is when you pick my brain and you get all the information, then you should have a good equivalent knowledge on the trade crypto too if you want to ask about crypto. And so
Yeah.
so I mean if we were to look at crypto from January until now, there's really not a whole lot of movement. And the best time they trade crypto was November and December when they jacked it up. That was the best time. That was the best time to make a lot of money off of crypto, to be honest.
Just buy it and swing it.
I mean, yeah, if we were to follow crypto right now, it's just been ranging. You know, Ripple's. I mean, yeah, Ripple hit $1.07, and then now it's back at 94 cents. I mean, it's a 7 cent drop. I mean, Bitcoin is still at 11,200. I mean, I'm not wasting my time because I'm in it for the long haul. I'm in all crypto for long-term investing. So you just gotta have the long-term mindset on crypto for long-term investing. And if you don't want to, then like I said, I provide the 15-minute scalping video, and I can re-update that if needed. And so it's just that I want to put my whole focus in this first to get you guys more educated and be better at this because forex is more fast paced, and yes, there's a lot of stuff to look at, but I mean if you just focus on one or two pairs, you can make good money with just those two pairs. And I made a lot of money just off of UJ last year. So you can just be good at one currency pair and master the other pair. That's the most basic thing. So it's just once you get good at this, then you're gonna get better at trading crypto. I mean, there's just not a whole lot of time into crypto because if we look at the monthly chart, the weekly chart, and the daily chart, Most cryptos are pretty brand new. Don't have enough. They don't have enough trend line. And they don't have enough prices to go off of. So, I mean, even at Bitcoin, even for Bitcoin for 10 years, I mean, it's still hard to figure out, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it's still hard. It's tough to figure out. I mean, yes, it hit 20,000. It's back at, you know, went all the way back down to 6,000. Now it's back at 11,000. I mean, who knows? Who knows what they're gonna do with crypto? I mean, crypto can just be wiped out for a couple months and then it'll finally shoot back up. I mean, this not a whole lot. I mean, forex is always gonna be there. That's why once you get good at forex, then you know you can start shifting your money into crypto trading. So that's the most important thing I want to focus on right now. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You were saying something earlier about central thinking like these central banks.
Oh man.
So it's something you wanted to touch on. Could you briefly give us
it's a lot. It's like
a bite-sized, concise?
It's a lot. It's like, oh my gosh.
Or just the basics, like, or something that we can take to go and research for ourselves and then come back and ask you more questions.
Oh man, how do I want to explain this? The most important thing for the central banks is to always keep up with their news. I always go into the most important would be the Fed for the U.S., but I try to look at the Euro Central Bank, the Bank of Japan, Reserve Bank of Australia, Reserve Bank of New Zealand, Canada, the UK. What else?
So the major pairs, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. You want to look at the most, your number one source should always be from the U.S. because if you're not paying attention to the U.S., and the second thing is if you don't know where the U.S. dollar index is going, then you're gonna miss out. So, but how I approached the central banks was I just kept reading up on every single news event that comes out. If Mario Draghi was speaking for the Euro Central Bank because he's the president, I'm always trying to keep up with what he's saying. Whatever he says, his last couple words will say stuff that's gonna predict because when someone asks a question, they're trying to figure out what's happening for the future, not what's happening right now. Okay?
Right. Okay.
They want to know what's going to happen. That's basically anything. Even when the Fed is talking, even when Trump is talking, or even when the Bank of Japan is talking, they want to know what's going to happen for the next couple months. You got to tune in on that. I don't really have the time to tune in on all that stuff, so I just read up on it on the articles. On the articles, you want to look up for some key words like what they plan on doing for the economy, inflation, what they think is happening to real estate, what they think is happening to the wages, the jobs, what about the interest rates? Are they changing up the banking policy? If they are changing the banking policy, then something major is going to happen to the currency. And so so much economic factors into it. But the most important thing is, what are they going to do with the banking policy for this quarter? What are they going to do if they don't raise interest rates? That's the second thing. If they don't raise interest rates, then there's a reason why they're not raising it. If they raise it, then there's another reason why they're raising it. So a lot of stuff deals with rates. Every single day, they're talking about rates. Not us, but the central banks are. And so you gotta stay tuned, stay focused. And every first month of the quarter, you gotta be mentally prepared and stay ahead of the game, because this whole week, the first actual week of March, non-farm payroll, the first non-farm payroll of the second quarter, and the first month, and there's 4 interest rate decisions. That's crazy. I don't know how they do it, but every March they have it set up like that. If you look at it,
Every March.
Last March they had it set up like that. I was confused. I didn't know what to do. Okay, I was just guessing on those interest rate decisions. And so March is a pretty critical month. You can make a lot of money, you can lose a lot of money, because there's so much red news. There's so much high impact news. So you have to shift. If you can't weekly swing, and there's so much red news, I'm not gonna lie, March by far has a lot of red news. And so, because they're trying to drive for this second quarter, because this second quarter is pretty critical, because it goes into summer. Summer is pretty slow. Not a whole lot going on, except until the next interest rate comes up, which is in July. In July, they have to announce what they plan on doing for the third quarter. So in July, you'll see a lot of activity, except for the holiday week of Independence Day, and then in the fall, like late September, it will start to pick back up again. So, but you'll start seeing these how they line up these interest rate decisions, and then whatever happens with the interest rate decision with the banking policy, then it just drives the momentum for the next monthly trend, pretty much. And so there's just I mean, the number one thing is what central bank is doing. The second most important thing is, are they going to raise rates or to keep the rates unchanged for that quarter? And what they plan on doing for the monetary policy for this quarter. Are they changing things up? Do they want to increase inflation? Do they not want to increase it? Are they afraid that the currency value is too high, so they're going to send it back down? I mean, everything comes into play. They already know, and they already have everything priced in. When you get into the way how they think about it, it's so much more than just fundamentals. I mean, that's why what I'm doing is I'm trying to project every single quarter, from now on.
Are they trying to project every single quarter as well, or they already know what's happening?
They already know.
Okay.
They already know. I mean, it's already a given. Okay, I mean, think about this. Do you think Trump actually really says what he says?
Nah, he kind of just nah.
No, he does not. He's a good talker before the election, but I started to notice that he has to read what the paper says on the podium. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't just be like, well, I'm going to say it the way it is. Screw the paper. The paper is from the banks.
Yeah.
He can't just be like, well, this is the way I think. This is the way. No. Whatever the central bank gives him, he has to say it. It's already given. You know, when he decided to raise tariffs on China and Europe for the metals, the commodities.
Yeah.
I mean, it was already priced in. I mean, if you're on the technical side, and you look at Thursday, you know, from Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the dollar was spiking up a lot already on the 4-hour and the daily. Okay, it was already overbought on Thursday. It tried to shoot for 91. It got stuck before 91. And then like at 1 in the afternoon or 2 in the afternoon, that's why I said it's very crucial to pay attention. You know, to pay attention to the crap. What happened? Oh, sorry, my computer froze. You know, I'm trying. This new customer wants to get in, so. Okay, so most, like I said, what was I talking about again? Damn it, what was I talking about?
Thursday, tariffs, Trump.
Yeah. So the dollar was already overbought in the 4-hour and the daily. It was trying to shoot for 91. And I totally forgot that Trump was speaking that day about the tariffs thing and the free trade talks and all that stuff. Send the dollar right back down. Okay. That's your way of looking at technical analysis if you were following the indicators. Now, on the fundamental side, if I remembered the time that he was speaking, then yes, I said, you know, we gotta sell the dollar. We gotta get out. We gotta get out. No more weekly swing. time to get out and reverse. But I didn't look at that. So when they dropped, and I had to consider taking. I was still in profit, but I wasn't. You know, I wasn't in the highest profit that I was that day. So they've been talking, like I said, they've been talking about raising tariffs for a long time, and I remember Trump saying that he was going to do it no matter what.
Oh, okay.
So if he say he's going to do it, it ain't coming from him.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You know? Central banks control a lot of commodities, a lot. Central banks hold a lot of gold too.
Yeah.
So if it were to come down to the U.S. dollar and gold would jack up first before they jack up the dollar. The dollar is just a piece of paper. They don't care about that. It's just like Monopoly. They'll play with the dollar all day long. Cash in, cash out. Doesn't matter. So, and in reality, the commodities are worth more. Remember, if we were to look at the foreign exchange market, you know, like back when there was no currency, the only thing that was being traded was resources, and it was gold, oil, material things. It's just resources that they thought was valuable, and all of a sudden, you know, later on, then they started creating currency. If you were to hold, like I said, a commodity against any currency, they would take commodity first. Now, I would rather have oil than hold a bunch of cash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
Oil is worth more than cash, and so it's just going back in time. Now, it's a lot to look at. All I'm saying is really it's a lot to look at on the central bank.
Where should we start looking to get into like the
you like I said, you gotta read up and here. Wait, where is here, let me share my screen. Central banks, central banks, central banks. Nope, not this. Is it this one? This one is pretty this one is pretty good.
Bank, yeah.
But it's a lot. It lists every single central bank from every country, so it's a lot to look at. But you just want to look at, the most important ones. Like I said, it's a lot. I mean, every single, it's a lot of stuff. A lot of over hundreds of countries here if you want to read up on their stuff. Good stuff. I don't try and read up on every single one of them. The balance is pretty good. They talk about monetary policy, bank regulation. Don't look at the financial services. This is like more basic fundamentals.
Okay.
What is the central bank? No, that's not what I'm really looking at. Hold on. There's a really good site. I wonder if this. Here, eight central banks you need to know. The U.S. is listed as number 1. That's why it's crucial. The Euro Central Bank, Bank of England, Bank of Japan, Swiss National Bank, Bank of Canada, Reserve Bank of Australia, and the Reserve Bank of New Zealand. Those are my 8 major banks I always look at. I mean, this is a really good breakdown on this site that talks about each individual bank. If you really want to advance, yourself in economics on the central bank side.
Yeah, because it sounds like
it's a lot of stuff. I'm telling you, it's once you get into the way they manipulate the markets and the prices for the currency, I mean, you're gonna see, like I said, you're gonna see what how far they're gonna drive it up, how low they want the price to be, and if there's more speeches coming from the banks, then there's a certain reason why they're driving it down before the speech, or why they're driving it up before the speech. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, I think Investopedia talks a lot too about the major central banks too. And like I said, interest rates is pretty crucial to pay attention to for interest rates. Look at that. GBP USD. That is huge. 196 to 175. But that was back in 05 though. Yeah, that was a good sell for the UK. I forget what happened at the bank there.
2005.
I forgot what happened in 2005 with the UK, but the UK took a huge hit that year. Yeah. I'm telling you, anything that goes up that high for that long, let's just say, okay, so the US dollar has been down for a year now, from 103 to 89. Okay?
Yep.
Last year, the euro was at $1.06, and now it's at $1.23. Well, it hit $1.25. If we were to break down price, $1.06. No, the lowest was $1.05. So $1.05 to $1.25 is 20 cents. That's a 20-cent price increase on the value on euro. The lowest for the pound was $1.20, and it jacked up to $1.43 at the highest before it went back down to 138 right now. That's a 23-cent increase. And when you look at the increase, then you gotta look at, okay, how much further are they gonna drive that currency value? And they can drive it even higher. A lot of people are saying, well, it's overbought. I don't care about how overbought it is. Yes, it is overbought. Don't get me wrong. But when the banks want to jack it up, they're going to jack it up. And then if they're going to jack down, if they're going to send the dollar down, I don't matter if the dollar's oversold. I thought the dollar was oversold at 90. You know, and it broke 89 last month. So how can you say that's oversold? You can't. And anytime it breaks new price, you have to set new price targets every single time. You have to set new price targets. If you don't set new price targets, I'm telling you, you're going to miss out. You can't rely too much on technical once price gets breaking. There's a reason why the banks are jacking it up or jacking it down. And there's a certain price they're looking for before they send it back up or send it back down. And that's when the major reversals hit. And if you're not in it for the reversal, you're going to miss it. You're going to get yourself caught in that trend, that new trend that starts, and you're going to be like, oh crap, I should have got out and got in at this time. I'm waiting for that reversal to happen. Because we're in the new quarter. We're in the second quarter. And if we have to wait till non-farm payroll for the dollar to break 90 again and shoot for 91, then we'll have to wait for non-farm payroll. And so like I said, there's so much stuff to look at for this year. This year has been pretty much a roller coaster ride. And so last year, if we were to look at last year, President Trump was inaugurated in January last year. And up until now, you got to look at, okay, what is it going to happen with President Trump for the next 3 years until 2020? And so what's going to happen until 2020 with President Trump? And is he going to drive the dollar up with the Fed? Or if he's not, then the dollar's going to go down. So yes, the Fed plays a lot with the U.S. dollar market, but the president also runs the dollar as well. And so every 4 years, if a new president gets elected, you have to be ready for the next 4 years.
Okay.
When the Fed chair Yellen got replaced this year, her term was up. Every 14 years, I mean, she stayed in for 14 years. So every 14 years, you got to look at that too. 14 years from now on, in 2032, but I mean, every 2-year term, they can be reappointed again too. So, like I said, there's a pattern in everything, and there's a term for each position from the central bank. Mario Draghi for the European Central Bank, his term is coming up this year. So they have to pick a new bank president. So a lot of things are starting to shift for this year, for 2018. And if you don't see this coming, I'm telling you, I'm expecting a good collapse from one of the major banks. I don't know which bank it is. People are thinking it's the dollar, but if the dollar's at 89, I mean, I don't really see anything collapsing with the U.S. economy. Business is booming up here in the United States. One major central bank is going to collapse. I don't know what it is, but I'm watching for it. You have to be ready for this. This is going to make you a millionaire. You have to set yourself apart from the other traders. I had to learn it the hard way, and I'm telling you, you gotta start changing the way you think about the markets. You gotta change that mindset, and it starts with your mindset. You're gonna one major collapse from one central bank. I don't know what it is, but that's gonna make people rich, and that's gonna make people lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you want to be on the, you want to be on the winning side. You want to catch that trend when it drops, or when it, or or if something goes up against it. So I'm preparing for this collapse, and I don't think it's $1. I really think it's gonna be euro.
Yeah.
We already see a lot of crazy things going on with euro right now. Election.
Yeah.
More elections are coming up. If we look at last year, what was it? Spain wanted to announce their independence against the European Union. Italy is trying to get out of the European Union. If every country leaves euro, I'm telling you, there's going to be no more euro. Every country is going to have their own currency. Euro is going to be gone. Going to be wiped out. That's just the way I'm looking at the euro right now. I actually thought that the euro was just going to hit. Everyone was talking about euro hitting 121, which it did, and then they jacked up to 125, and it went back down. Now it's at 123. They're jacking up euro for a reason, and so, and if we actually look, I mean, I'm telling you, you gotta start seeing this. If you don't see this, I'm telling you, I can give you signals all day, but you want to be the one catching that massive, collapse, like George Soros did.
Yeah.
You just need to catch one major collapse on one bank, and then you're golden. You don't need to catch it all the time, but when you pick this stuff up, I'm telling you, I mean, I got my eyes on euro ever since countries have been trying to get out of Europe and be independent. I'm telling you, once UK actually finds a deal, I'm waiting for that collapse. I'm waiting for the collapse. Because the moment UK announces the actual Brexit deal is done, we're announcing our release of from the European Union. I'm telling you, when that day happens, I'm ready. I'm getting ready for it. Because that tells that's already letting the other countries know that they can get out of it because they want to be independent. So this had nothing to do with technical analysis. So you gotta keep up to date. Like I said, I've been watching the Brexit deals, as much as I can, and it's been tough on the UK. I'm not gonna lie, they've been pretty tough on the UK lately, and they're not letting the UK go that easy. And so the moment the UK announces that they're actually gonna separate, I'm telling you, like when they seal the deal, I'm telling you, I'm ready. That's gonna make the euro even lower. I'm telling you, you gotta be ready for this. Had nothing to do with the U.S. economy. A lot of people think it's the U.S. dollar, but it has nothing to do with the U.S. dollar. I got my eyes on euro, and so that's like, I don't know. I mean, that's like one of the major things I'm looking at for this year. A lot of things are starting to shift quick, and you got to be ready for that. When that major shift happens, you better be on the right side catching it. All right. I think that's enough information tonight. Oh man, my brain is fried. No, I'm trust me. I can keep talking all night if I wanted to, but I don't wanna make it feel like you guys have to soak all this information in. I'm telling you, I mean, you gotta look at what euro is doing, and they're facing a lot of heat right now.
Yeah.
Every time a new person comes in here, you have to repeat yourself, and you think you're repeating yourself, but sometimes we're learning new stuff, so it's a good thing for us.
You're gonna have to rewatch the webinar. You have to rewatch. There's a reason why I record the webinars. There's a reason why I record the webinar, so you guys can backtrack on what I said.
I've watched all the webinars even before here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not posting any of these on YouTube.
Exclusive.
I don't even share this much information on YouTube.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah. Oh yeah, forgot. Crap. Interest rate decision. Oh, where's that?
15 minutes.
How come Euro's not dropping? I mean, Australia. How come Australia's not dropping?
That's what I was thinking. Is it gonna go down again?
Of course, I'm gonna sell it. Yep, I'm gonna sell it. You know why?
The opposite.
They must expect something really major for the Australian dollar. Yeah, because if you look at, like I said, if you look at Euro AUD and GBP AUD, they're downtrending pretty hard right now. They're downtrending pretty hard right now, and you can see Australia, even on the 1 hour, you can see Australia on the 1 hour is just breaking out that band as much as it can. Man, they must be anticipating some really positive news for Australia. Did I miss something? What did I miss?
Ku, on this one, you said to wait after the spike, or how should we trade this one?
I'll give out the signal. Don't worry. I'll post the signal.
Okay.
And I don't, like I said, I don't. You can get in, but I would wait till they try to, because they're gonna jack it up first, and after they spike it up, and then I'm just gonna sell it. But like when I'm not on the webinar, then I don't have time to explain it, so I just send it out. So I'll type in what to expect, but I won't be having a webinar because I'll be in class. Especially if there's, like, for New York sessions, there's going to be some crazy red news, so I won't have time to be like, okay, guys, this is what we're gonna do. Once we get in, this is what we're gonna do right now, and when we get out, I don't have time to do that. So I just send out the signal, and then I'll write down on the description what to expect when they release it. And so that's the only way that's the way I do it when I'm not doing a webinar.
So it's like a video game, basically. You just have to get good with your fingers and figuring out when to get in and when to get out.
Well, I don't want you to look at it as a video game because you're trading with real money, and so
I know.
you wanna, like I said, you wanna make sure that if you're new to this,
I'm on demo right now anyway,
Yeah.
but I want to get good with figuring out the difference between getting in on the 10-second mark and figuring out when the peak is and knowing what that is.
I can give you, like I said, I can give you everything, I'm telling you. But you have to see it and trade it for yourself so you get familiar with it. And if you're not learning anything from the webinars and the signals I provide, then all you do is just relying on me. That's it. And so, I mean, it's okay. You know, it's okay that people rely on me for my signals, but at the end of the day, you have to start learning. And I mean, if you're not gonna choose to learn, then I mean that's fine. Everything is different. And when you trade, like I said, when you trade high impact news, or when you do a weekly swing for so long, or when you have these methods of trading, your own methods of trading and your own strategies, then you know what to bounce off of on a given week, from Sunday to Friday. If that strategy doesn't work, then you know that you just got to focus on news this whole weekend. You know, if swinging is not going to work, then you got to go back to scalping. If scalping doesn't work, you go back to swinging. If today is not a good day for trading, take a break. Take a break and like relax. And so I mean, yeah, I don't trade every single hour, every single minute. I'm just going on my phone. I have a couple of positions lined up, and then look at it. Okay, look at the chart. Okay, what's gonna make you guys most money? Let me send out the signal. That's it. I don't waste my. I don't wanna be like, oh, I gotta trade my account, because if I don't make money, then you know you guys aren't gonna make money. No, that's the most important thing is put my time here. And so.
So you've been following me since you're 17. You're 20.
I heard something.
My bad.
What was that?
Ty Lopez video.
Oh. Yeah. What you gotta say this time?
He's just talking about how he took some guy from when he was 17 to 21 years old. Now he's earning 25K a month. Sorry.
The credit card dude. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't see. There's so many of them, man.
Yeah, I know.
I can't
He's doing
keep
good
up.
at digital marketing.
He is I suppose he is he's got something like over 30 million followers on social media.
Which guy?
Ty Lopez.
Yep. That's where he makes most of his money. Yeah, he can make a lot of money on YouTube, I'm telling you. Just make stupid videos.
Yeah. What's that guy? Paul Logan or something?
Oh my gosh, that guy.
Logan Paul.
That's a Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Paul Logan.
Yeah.
We got 8 minutes.
You buying or selling?
Probably just gonna. I think I'm just gonna set a buy stop and sell stop. Or yeah, because
What? Buy stop, sell stop.
Yep, that's what I plan on doing.
Buy stop, sell stop. Buy stop, sell stop. I'm gonna sell it once they spike this up first. Oh man. Woo.
Marion, you're full on. That's great. You were told that you would be benefited enough to just let yourself in. Who are you? Here's Medicare automatically rolls you to receive a number of services. Tidying up, meal prep, companionship, whatever you need. Should we come back another time or is it that time?
Yeah, what is going on? What we gonna do for this? What we gonna do? We buying or selling? I'm kind of confused here. Maybe someone can help me.
Selling.
My turn to ask you guys questions now.
We're selling hard.
So hard. Oh man. What's up, girl? Come on. Yeah, I know your sister. What's your sister sleep? Oh man. Oh, we got 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes here. I didn't look at it. 1 minute. 1 minute. Ooh, what we do? What we do? I think I'm gonna buy it. You guys gonna buy it with me? You guys gonna buy it with me or what? No?
I'm selling.
You guys are not gonna buy it with me? Come on.
Buy 5 lots. Buy 5 lots,
cool.
I'm buying right now.
They're gonna jack it up, I'm telling you. They're gonna jack it up. You guys don't believe me, huh? I'm telling you, you're gonna jack it up. You're gonna regret it. Guys are gonna regret it. Let's see where we at. 15 seconds. 10. Oh crap! What do we do? They jack it up.
Nope. No, it's going up.
I told you guys. No, I'm waiting for that rate statement. Of course, they're gonna keep rates unchanged. What's the rate statement say? We plan on. What did it say here? The Reserve Bank of Australia at its monetary policy meeting today left the official cash rate. Yeah, we're waiting for the rate statement here. Come on. That's what I'm waiting on. What's the rate statement? You guys still buying it?
No,
I ain't buying it.
I don't know.
What do you mean you guys don't know? What? What, I confuse everybody?
So that central bank talk. Hey, it's dropping.
I mean, I didn't say anything about buying it. Or did I?
Yeah, you say, who's buying it with me?
Mommy.
What? Why you calling me mommy? Huh?
Mommy.
Wait, you gonna step here?
Yeah.
Okay. Come here. You don't even. Okay.
Mommy.
Why are you calling me mommy? Mommy's up there.
Wow, man, that's really dropping.
I told you guys to sell it. I was calling up the Reserve Bank of Australia before I got the signal.
You're the market maker.
I was calling the bank. I was like, "Yo, what you guys gonna do for the the statement here?"
Like, I need you to move this down a couple pips for me, please.
Same here.
20 pip move.
Needs to move a little bit, just a little bit more.
Well,
how do you know it was going to spike up though?
First, they always spike it up, even if they leave the rates unchanged. Now, if they raised it, then it would jack up a lot.
Right.
Okay. I'm telling you, you'll see a massive spike. I'm telling you. Yeah, you'll see a massive spike when they raise the rate. You'll be like, "Holy crap, what happened?" Yeah. But I'm getting prepared for Canada because Canada's been pretty hawkish lately. You know? What is that? What else? I need to see what else they said about this. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'll share my screen. I'm gonna share my screen, explain this, and then upload the video for you guys, and then I will see you guys tomorrow. So I'm gonna explain this for you guys. The Reserve Bank of Australia monetary policy meeting today left the official cash rate on hold at the record low of 1.5. So record low. Before it was higher than this last year. The low level of interest rates is continuing to support the Australian economy. Further progress is reducing unemployment and having inflation return to target is expected. So that already tells me that they have low jobs and their inflation target is not there yet. Although this progress is likely to be gradual, taking account of the available information, the board judged that holding the stance of monetary policy unchanged at this meeting would be consistent with a sustainable growth in the economy, achieving the inflation target with regard to inflation level. CPI. Okay. Percent. Yeah.
What does that all mean, though?
Huh?
What does it all mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
That
means what are the key words? Yeah.
What's up?
Or what should we be looking out for the as a?
Well, inflation's not there for the bank, for the economy, and the unemployment is still high, so they need to increase their jobs. Expected economy strengthening the central forecast for CPI inflation to be a bit above 2%. 2% in 2018. Well, they didn't specify the month. So that tells me they didn't specify the month. It has to be next quarter. On the exchange rate, the Australia remains with the range, and then over past two years. Okay, so past 2 years, they want 2% by 2018. Okay. So they want to okay, so basically they want to do this by 2018, but it's going to take some time. So all right. I feel like I talked way too much today, just like yesterday. What's going on?
So is it like going up for the rest of the night or something? It's going
No,
up.
it's gonna retrace right now because it went down. Damn, what the heck happened? Oh boy, it's not good. Crap. Darn it. What happened to the computer? Crap. Yeah. Can you guys still see me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay, not good. Not good. Darn it. Okay. That's it. All right, I'll work out, you guys. I'm gonna shut this down.
Cool.
Something major happens with Australia, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, just make sure y'all. It's gonna try and retrace right now.